I never thought death would come for me that day. One moment, I was driving home, listening to the radio, thinking about nothing in particular. And the next moment, everything went black. But what happened after that? What I experienced in those few moments outside my body completely shattered everything I thought I knew about life, death, and what lies beyond. I'm sharing this because what I saw and felt was so real, so overwhelming, that I can't keep it to myself. Whether you believe in heaven, an afterlife, or nothing at all, I ask you to just listen, because my story might change how you see your own life. Before all this, I was just ordinary. I worked a regular job, commuted every day, paid bills, stressed about money, worried about my kids' future, the normal stuff. Spiritually, I was neutral. I grew up in a Christian household, but over the years, faith slipped away. Life got busy, messy, complicated. I believed in something, but I wasn't sure what. Heaven? Maybe. God? Possibly. But I figured I'd find out when the time came. And honestly, I didn't think much about death. It was something that happened to other people. That day, though, it was my turn. It was late evening. I was driving home from work. The road was slick from rain, and I was tired, hungry, distracted. My phone buzzed with a text, just one quick glance down. That's all it took. When I looked back up, headlights were coming straight at me. A truck had swerved across the divider. There was no time to react. The impact was instant, violent. I remember the sound of crushing metal, the sharp jolt of my seatbelt cutting into my chest, glass shattering everywhere. My body felt like it was folding in on itself. Then, silence. For a split second, I thought, this is it. I'm gonna die. And then, everything went black.
But here's where things get strange. I wasn't gone. At least, not in the way I expected. I suddenly felt light, detached, free. I looked down and saw my car mangled, smoke rising, paramedics rushing, and there, inside that wreck, I saw me, my body, crushed, lifeless. And yet, I was calm, no pain, no fear, just awareness. It was surreal, like watching a movie of my own death. I could hear everything around me with startling clarity, the shouts of the rescuers, the sirens, even the frantic prayers of a stranger who had stopped to help. And somehow I could also hear their thoughts. I could feel their emotions as if they were my own. Time didn't feel linear anymore. Seconds stretched into eternity. I was hovering, untethered, and then I felt it. A pull, a magnetic force drawing me upward. I rose into darkness at first, a vast, peaceful void. And then a light appeared. Not harsh, not blinding, just pure, alive. As I moved closer, the light expanded, wrapping around me like the warmest embrace I'd ever known. Every fear, every pain, every doubt I had ever carried just dissolved. I wasn't alone. Figures began to appear, beings of light, familiar and unfamiliar at the same time. I couldn't recognize faces, but I knew them. It was as if they had always known me, loved me, even when I didn't love myself. And then came the life review. Not like a movie on a screen, but as if I was living every moment all over again. Only this time, I could feel how my choices affected others. Every word I had spoken, every kindness, every cruelty, I felt it. I saw moments I had forgotten, the time I ignored a friend who needed me, the times I raised my voice in anger, but also the times I comforted my children, or made someone laugh on their darkest day. It wasn't judgmental. It wasn't punishment. It was truth. And through it all, I felt only love, an unconditional, unshakable love that held me as I faced myself fully, without masks. One being, call it God, an angel, a guide, I don't know, spoke without words. You are loved. You always have been. But your time is not finished.
I didn't want to leave. I can't explain how intoxicating that love and peace was. Compared to that, earthly life felt heavy, small, painful. But I thought of my family, my children, my spouse. Their faces flashed before me, their laughter, their tears. I realized my journey wasn't complete. There were things left undone, lessons left to live. Suddenly, I felt myself being pulled backward. The light began to fade. The beings receded. I tried to hold on, but it was like being swept away in a current. Then pain, crushing, raw, unbearable pain. My chest heaving, air forcing its way back into my lungs, the sound of paramedics shouting, "We've got a pulse!" I was back, trapped in the broken body I had left behind. And for the first time, I cried, not from pain, but from the loss of that love I had touched. Recovery was long. Surgeries, therapy, endless nights of pain. But the physical scars weren't the hardest part. The hardest part was adjusting to life after that glimpse of eternity. Everything changed. The little things I used to stress about, money, deadlines, petty arguments, they don't hold the same weight anymore. I care more deeply, love more openly, forgive more easily. I don't no longer fear death. Instead, I see life as a gift, fragile and temporary, but sacred. Every hug, every sunrise, every conversation could be the last. That's not depressing, it's liberating. It makes each moment precious. I don't claim to have all the answers. I don't know exactly what happens when we die. But I know this: there is more. We are more. And love, the kind that binds us all, is the only thing that truly matters. If you've listened this far, I want you to take something with you. Don't wait until your final breath to realize what's important. Don't let anger, regret, or fear steal the short time you've been given. Live with love. Forgive freely. Be present. Because one day, when your time comes, and you step into that light, you'll understand love was always the answer. Thank you for hearing my story. And tonight, when you close your eyes, I hope you reflect on your own life, not with fear, but with gratitude for the moments you still have.